Hey guys, it's Robert from Poohs Corner Honey in Willow, Alaska. We're getting ready to install a couple of packages of bees in our 2 hives this year. This is our 7th year as beekeepers up here, and we're looking forward to it. So this little video is just going to show you the process of how we install a couple of packages of bees in these 2 hives. This is a 4-pound box with 1 queen. These are Italian honeybees. We get them through our bee club, the South Central Alaska Beekeepers Association, and they fly these guys up from California in the almond orchard area. So this should be a really fun experience to watch for you guys, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and please be sure to hit that subscribe button and smash that notification button, and you will get updates anytime we upload videos. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to install this box first in this hive. So I'm going to talk through some of this as we're going. So we'll remove the top cover. And we'll remove the honey box. We use this right now because we use a top feeder. I'll grab my hive tool and remove 1 frame. All of these frames have built-in foundation. As I mentioned, we are kind of old, grizzled veterans at this point with 7 years of doing this, so we have nice frames that are installed. So then we're going to move these over a little bit and remove the insulation. We have insulation in our hives right now because, as you can probably see, there's still snow on the ground and we're still pretty chilly at night. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is remove the feeder that they install in these so they have some food when they make their travels up from California. Brush them off here. Set this aside. And then we will remove our queen package, which is right here. The queen is in there, and it looks like she is white this year. When I say she's white, they paint a dot on the back of the queen each year so that it makes it a little bit easier to recognize them in the hive. The next thing we do is remove the little cork that's down in there and make sure we plug off the hole. And then we put a marshmallow in so that the queen doesn't come out of the cage right away. The reason we do that is worker bees will only accept 1 queen, so we make sure that she stays safe, and by putting that marshmallow in, it allows the worker bees to get used to the new queen. Otherwise, they could possibly kill her. So then we put the queen cage down in the hive as so. Move all of our frames over. Put this one back. And then in about 3 days, we will come back and make sure that she is released. So now, we do what we call shaking the bees in the box, and you will see why we call it that in just a second. So in this box right here, we have about 10,000 bees and 1 queen. And we shake them in just like this. And we get most of them in there. Then we take our box, bring it over to the front, and set it just like this. And then all of those bees will fly out into the box mostly today. and get back into the hive. We put our insulation back in, being real careful not to squish the bees. And we brush the bees back in the box, as so. Just like that. We put our honey super back on. Remember, this is empty because we're going to add our feeder. This is our sugar water feeder. We use a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 cup of sugar for every cup of water. And we set this down like that. And we'll have to feed this about, or fill this about once a week until it really starts getting warmed up and ready to go. Then we install our top cover back, and that is done. Line it up in the back, make sure everything looks good, and that is how you install a package of bees. So we'll go ahead and do the next one. Remove the cork, as so. Here's our 3 little marshmallows. We only need 1, but I brought a couple out just in case. Remove the top cover, remove the honey box, pop out one of the frames, as you can see there. Move this over just a hair. Set this on top. The sugar containers are almost empty, so these usually last about 3 days. Just enough time for them to make their way up to Alaska. Take my knife here, take out the cork. The marshmallow in, stick it in there nice and good so they will have a little bit of a chore to get it out of there. I fold this up like so, so it can rest on the hive, or the frame that we rested on. So we'll move this out of the way real quick so we can put this down in there. I usually put it in about the middle of the hive because most of the time the bees will ball up in the middle of the hive to conserve energy and warmth. Move this back over so this fits in. You want your frames to fit in here real tight. As so. Make sure everything lined up. Looks good. So now we will shake the bees. We found that 2 hives is perfect for us. It makes about 100, 150 pounds of honey, which is plenty for us to have for ourselves, sell a little bit, and of course, share with our friends. Sometimes I give this a little tap, just in case. Set this in front so they can fly in there tonight, or tomorrow, or today, and the rest of tomorrow. Brush them in. Try to be careful. As so. If you put this in gently and kind of move it around, the bees will move out of the way. That way you're not squishing any. Then we set our feeder down, just like so. Make sure everything's lined up. Put our top cover back on, as such. There you have it, guys. Our 2021 bees are in their hives. Up here in Alaska, we have a very short beekeeping season. Typically, right now, it's the end of April, the last weekend of April, and we will harvest the first week of August. And if we're real lucky, we'll get a small second harvest around the middle of September or so, and then it is time for us to figure out what we're going to do with winter, whether we're going to keep our bees and try to overwinter, if we're going to give them away, if we're going to dispatch them. What we're going to do is all going to be dependent on how the summer works out. Last year we had an excellent year. As I mentioned, we had about 150, 160 pounds of honey last year, and a good crop is about 70 to 90 pounds per box, or per hive, excuse me. And it does very well for us, and as I've said, this is our 7th year as beekeepers, and we really enjoy this little hobby. At one time, we had 10 hives back here, and boy, that was a chore. During the summer, we come out and we do hive checks. We do them every Sunday religiously, and we're checking for queen cells and any problems in the hive, such as mites or anything like that, and we make sure everything is kept nice and tidy. That way that we don't have any swarms or anything like that. So guys, thank you very much for joining us here on our live feed. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. We will be sure to answer them. And please follow us along on YouTube as well as on our Facebook page, Poohs Corner Honey. And we will do lots of videos and lots of updates throughout the summer. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.